Hey guys, my name is Spencer Kaufman. Thank you for watching the Deception Tips videos. They're all about teaching you how to read people so that you will know if someone is lying to you. You'll be better able to detect deception by going through all of these signs, by listening to the podcast, by taking a look at all the other information. You will really be able to know exactly what everybody is saying. Today we're going to cover a sign that is kind of related to some of the other signs that we've talked about. This is more of a defensive barrier. It's something that people use to separate themselves from other people. They kind of put up walls or blockades or barriers so that other people cannot see exactly what's going on. It's kind of like we build ourselves in a little cubicle or something to ward off the prying eyes. So here it is, deception tip number 8. Liars will often unconsciously place objects between themselves and the target as a defensive barrier. Now you notice that it said objects. Now it could be object or objects. It could be one thing or it could be multiple things. And by things, it doesn't have to be an object. It could be your hands. So folding your arms is a form of a defensive barrier. That's why when you ask a bunch of people, hey, what does it mean when someone folds their arms? The stereotypical response is going to be, oh, they're being defensive or they're withholding or they're shutting down. Well, defensive is right in that word. It's a defensive barrier. They're blocking. In addition, you see it a lot of time with like job interviews or when people have meetings with the boss or they're called into the office. Usually someone is sitting behind a desk. The other person is in front of the desk. Now behind the desk, I mean like on the computer and drawer side of the desk. In front of the desk is on the straight side, the other side, the interviewee side. That desk is a defensive barrier for both the boss and both the employee or whomever type of relationship is sitting on each side of the desk. There is something between you. You can only see from their chest up. You can't see their legs, their feet, nothing. You have no idea what is going on below whatever you see behind that desk. That is a defensive barrier. In addition, if you remember in grade school, you perhaps had to use like your little folders and you put them up and you put up little barricades on each side of your desk and it kind of makes like a little wall so that when you take a test, no one cheats off of your paper. You set up a defensive barrier so that no one could see what is going on. And this is the same principle that our unconscious uses when putting these defensive barriers together. Now the reason that this happens is the same thing in elementary school when you do it to prevent prying eyes from seeing your answers or from seeing what you put down, what you're doing. When you do it unconsciously, like when a liar does it, if they put a notebook in front of them, they fold their arms, they hide behind a desk or something, they are putting that defensive barrier for a reason that they don't want other people to see what is going on their body. It is something like they're feeling vulnerable. If you remember a few videos ago, we talked about covering the genital areas or covering up private areas because it's a feeling of vulnerability. A liar may feel exposed, and it typically happens when questioned, when they are prodded. It's like a confirming behavior of lying. It's something that is a result of being pushed or being pressed a little further in that lie. And this one, where it's just a defensive barrier, this could happen during the lie, it could happen after the lie, it could happen when they're pressed on it, it could happen right at the beginning. They could set up a defensive barrier such as folding their arms and kind of turning away a little bit and then start telling their lie. And the reason they do this is because now my hands, you can't see them very well. So I could be moving my fingers and fidgeting or doing something to help ease the tension of telling a lie, but it's hiding, it's defending. You're not being able to see that. So keep an eye out for defensive barriers because they can be anything. Anything that goes between you and whomever you're talking to, the target and the liar. Anything that goes between there, whether it's a desk, a folder, a notebook, someone's hands, anything could be a potential defensive barrier. So watch out for that and keep your eyes open for other signs so that you can put clusters and patterns of behavior together. If this is your first time watching these videos, I'd love to have you subscribe to the channel on YouTube. It's all about teaching you how to read people and detect deception so that you will know exactly what everybody is saying. Feel free to comment on the videos as well. In addition, if you'd like some more information, we've got books, podcasts, blog posts, and all kinds of stuff available on spencerkaufman.com that is dedicated to teaching you exactly what everybody is saying. Until next time.